Welcome to Hospitality Property School. You are listening to Hospitality Property School with your host, Jerry McPherson. Well, good day and welcome to another edition of Hospitality Property School. I am your instructor, Jerry McPherson, and today we are going to be talking about surveys. Why do I need surveys? I know what my guests like. I would like to say I've never heard that before, but you might be shocked at the number of hospitality property owners I have met that have said just that or something similar. I'm going to give you 4 very important reasons why your hospitality property should be conducting surveys. 1, to find out what's going on. If your customers are given a non-threatening method to share, they will tell you what is important to them. 2, a survey can shed light on items or problems that you might not have been aware of, or that could be a symptom to a larger problem. 3, when making decisions about your property, you do not always have to go with your gut feeling, but instead make your choices with sound, data-driven information. And 4, surveys provide you with a snapshot of your target guests and their attitudes. This will help you establish a baseline from which you can compare other times and determine whether problems are getting better or worse. Now, what type of things can you survey? I'll share a few categories you can ask about at your hospitality property. Market research. You can find out how well positioned is your property or service. Would you increase your market share if you changed an aspect of your property or service? And how do visitors use your website? You can use it for product development. What does your target population need? Will your new idea work? Will your target population be excited about a new idea? You can use it for employee performance evaluations. Do guests think your staff are courteous and helpful? What do your guests think of the service they receive from your employees? This is an idea of the type of questions you could ask and what type of surveys you should use. I'm going to highlight 4 different types of surveys and the advantages, disadvantages, and when to use them. Web surveys. Advantages? Very low cost, extremely fast, and complex questioning assures better data. The disadvantages: respondent completion rates lower for longer surveys, and random respondents might reply to the surveys if they appear on your webpage. When to use? When the desired target population consists mainly of internet users. A mail survey. The advantages? Great for social research. Low cost, almost 75% less than personal interviews, and it eliminates potential bias. The disadvantages? Low response rate and time. You need to wait at least several weeks for all the responses to arrive. When to use? To target a specific group. Telephone survey. Advantages: you reach 96% of all homes. Can be a streamless process. Interviewers can ask for clarification on responses and additional detail. Disadvantages: research calls are often thought of as telemarketers. Typically, calling window interrupts respondents' personal time. Call screening is common, and no visual support. When to use this? To follow up if you have specific questions for specific guests. And the last way? During the stay or checkout survey. The advantages: frequently used to gauge behavior, very good response rate, longer surveys can be tolerated, and you have a captive audience. The disadvantages: sometimes guests feel pressured, and respondent completion rates are lower for longer surveys. When to use it? Short surveys when guests are checking out, and longer surveys during the stay, sometimes with an incentive. How can you ask your guests for feedback? Many hospitality property owners are nervous about asking guests for feedback, as it could look pushy or rude. This could be true, so you have to make sure it's done correctly. At checkout, ask your guests if they'd be willing to fill out a short, and I can't emphasize this enough, a short survey. You can tell them that it is your goal to deliver the best possible experience, and by filling out this quick survey, you can find out if you're doing things right or where there is room for improvement. Post-stay. If your guests have a takeaway postage-paid survey or you offer an online survey, send your guests an email to thank them for the visit and remind them for their feedback. This can drastically increase your survey responses. In the Guide to Operating an Independent Hotel or Bed and Breakfast training tutorials, we look further into ways to improve your hospitality property survey. You can access this through a link in the show notes at keystonehospitalitydevelopment.com/KHDC036. All right, there are some ways to consider getting feedback through surveys. Now, in conclusion, surveys can tell you a lot about your business and how guests view your endeavors. This research can be invaluable to the success of your property. If you have any interesting stories about hospitality property surveys and would like to share, or have any questions or feedback, please leave them in the comments section of the show notes at keystonehospitalitydevelopment.com/KHDC036. That's it for today's session of Hospitality Property School. We do appreciate your comments, and if you do have topic ideas, please reach out to us on Facebook at facebook.com/KeystoneHDC, on Twitter at twitter.com/KeystoneHDC, or by email at info@keystonehospitalitydevelopment.com. Let's work together to put heads in your beds. Until next time, have a fun day. This session of Hospitality Property School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe so as not to miss any hospitality property tactics and strategies that will help you find the success you have always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content possible. We will see you next time, right here in Hospitality Property School.